Hello and welcome to DVxUI. Today on this channel, we are going to create another full page website. So as you can see on your screen, this is a complete landing page of a website. And we have the hero section over here. And if I scroll, notice this header is staying at the top, which is right. We are going to design this as well. And if I move further, I will get to this second section, which is also very beautiful. Then this third one, which is looking amazing. And then this last one, which can be also called as CTA section. And after that, we will have a footer. So let's see how can we design this using Figma. Alright, so let's start this video. Well, before starting, it is very important that we know about this particular interface before drawing the elements. So over here, you will find I have the pages, and inside that I have design, YouTube and learn. After that, I have the layers over here, and under layer, I have one frame. If I double click on this grid icon, then I will go to this resources frame. Here, what I have is all the pictures along with the colors that I'm going to be using. You must have not found these colors in the preview, but I'm going to tell you where I'm going to use them. Alright, so this is perfect. Now since I have selected this frame, you can find all these appearance setting over here in the right panel. We are going to explore this in a detailed manner, but now let's just start the process of designing that landing page. Alright, this is great. So first of all, to start the creation, we need a frame. So we will hit F key on our keyboard. Take this desktop and desktop frame, perfectly right. Now we have the frame over here, and this is quite small. Well, it is not small. If you see over here, we are zoomed at the level of 23%. If we select this frame, which is this desktop, and if we hit Shift and 2, we will zoom perfectly at 60%. And now it is perfect to design our hero section. But first, we need to design the header. And even before that, we need to design the background for it. So the fill color is currently given as white. If I go over here in the fill and write here just black, it will take the solid black color. Alright, perfect. Now, as I said, we are going to design the header very firstly. So the header is going to be over here. So take a frame, drop it over here inside this parent frame, and here in the width I'm going to write 1440, and in the height I'm going to write 100 is fine, I guess. Let me just lock it. Alright, now I'm going to align it at the middle like this, and since now you cannot see that, I will provide it a fill color of white but with the opacity of 5% like this. So it is present over here, you can see that, but it is not very much prominent. Alright, let me select this and then use this alignment to align perfectly at the top. Perfect. So the layout for our header is created. Now we need to put the element inside this header. But before that, if we start putting the element over here, we are surely going to lose the alignment, which I don't want. So what I'm going to do over here is, I'm going to select this desktop, which is this parent frame. Then I will go over here in the layout guide, I will enable this. Then I will go to columns, and now in the count, I will write 16, and in the margin, I'm going to write 120. In this way, red bars will appear on the screen, or basically on this frame. Well, now these red bars are going to guide me throughout the process of designing so that I don't lose the alignment. Alright, now let me cross this. Perfect. So as I said, we need elements over here, and it is going to contain 3 elements. The first one is the site name, which is going to be over here, then the nav links, which are going to be over here, then a button, which is going to be over here. So let's see how can we design those. Now let me zoom in over here. Perfect. Take a text, drop it over here and write metal with a dot, select it, and the font size for this one is going to be 32 and this is going to be medium. Alright, this is created. The site name is quite simple and it is looking quite decent. Perfect. Now I'm going to align it at the middle, then towards the left, and now I need to align it with this red bar. So I do not go outside this working area which is presented by these red bars. So select it and align it over here like this. Let me zoom in. And yep, perfectly right. And now you must be seeing one difference over here. The line of the text is over here, but I have aligned it using the line of this M. Well, this is one concept of UI UX designing. When you are designing websites, you are designing for the actual humans, and we tend to notice every single detail on the website. We may or may not know the UI UX principles, but our eyes tells us that there is something off. So you have to always align your element with the visual appearance of the element, not with the boxes provided. These boxes follow a rule which is box model, and if you want to know more about these principles and the laws, what you can do is you can go over here. You will find this link in the description, and there you can join this course. Well, this course not only teaches you about the UI UX principles that I'm currently talking about, but also how can you structure the websites, and then responsive design, animation, 3D websites, design freelance, and at last what we are doing over here is we are combining all the projects that you are going to create in this course, and then we are creating a portfolio website for you. So if you want to upskill in the field of designing, you can join this course. So let's go back now. Alright, perfect. So the site name was created like that. And now we need nav links over here. So let me zoom in over here. Perfect. Take a text, drop it over here, write home for the first one. Now Control D for the duplicate. And here I'm going to write shop. Then the third one, which is going to be inspiration, like that. And the last one is going to be about. Let me place it over here. And now since these are very large to be the nav links, you can see that these are very large. We need to reduce the size. So let me select them, all of them like this. And then we will go over here in the typography. Now the font size for this one is going to be 20 and this is going to be regular. Alright. Now after that, what I'm going to do over here is, except this home, I'm going to select all these three and make their opacity 60%. In this way, only the home will be highlighted, denoting that currently the user is on the home page or the landing page. Now I'm going to select all of them once again because now I need to fix their alignment. So we will go over here in the layout and we will provide an auto layout. In this way, they will be contained inside this frame, which is over here. And this is frame 1. We should name it nav bar. And this is our hero section. So name it that. Hero section. Like that. Perfect. Alright. So this is created and I think this is done. Now in the gap, we need to write 60. Perfect. Now it is done. Now we need to align it at the middle first, then we will align it over here because we need a button over here. So let's see how can we design that. So let me zoom in, take a text, drop it over here like this, and here I'm going to write login. Now select it. Now in the typography, I'm going to change the size to 18 with regular font weight. Now after that, I'm going to select it and provide an auto layout. Perfect. Then I will fill it with the color so that we can see it. And now we cannot see the button text. So I'm going to select the text and provide it 00, which is the black color. Alright. And I guess we should write register over here. That will look more like a button. Perfect. Now I'm going to select this auto layout. In the horizontal padding, I'm going to provide 24, and in the vertical, I'm going to provide 10. And now for the corner radius, I'm going to provide completely rounded. So you can write any big value over here, bigger than these two values, the width and the height. So I have provided 56. You can also take 50. That's also fine. Now then we will go in the stroke and we will provide a border of color white with the opacity of 30%. Now the weight for this one is going to be 2. And you must be saying that we cannot see the border. It is because now the position is set to inside. We need to make it outside. And now you can see that. Perfect. Now let me zoom out, select this button and these nav links, put them in auto layout once again. Perfect. Now these are not quite aligned, so I will go in the alignment and make it center. Perfect. Alright. Now I have selected this bigger frame and I will align it at the middle and now with the red bar. Perfect. Alright. This gap is 95, which is quite a lot. So we are going to make it, let's say 60. And now we need to align it once again. Perfect. Alright. So this is created. And now as you can see, our nav bar is perfectly created. Alright, this is done. Now we need to start putting the element inside this hero section. So let's see how are we going to do that. So first of all, we should put the image over here. So I will go to resources, copy this image, the first one. Then I will go to hero section, paste that over here towards the left like this, and then at the bottom like this. And now here, I guess in the X value, we can take something around 680. Yep, slightly left. And now you do not have to worry about this margin. This is the exception of this rule. If you are using the decorative items or the background items, then you can avoid this margin. Alright, this is perfect. Now what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to lock this picture so that it does not interfere with whatever I'm going to do over here and over here. Alright, so this is perfect. Alright, now I'm going to take a circle, drop it over here, because let me show you something. If I select this hero section, remove this layout guide, alright, you can see this is quite not very attractive. Well, the picture is quite attractive in its own way, but I guess we haven't done anything special over here. So let's see what we can do over here to make it even more interesting. So I'm going to select this circle, then I will lock it first, and then here I will write 400, so 400, alright. And now in the fill, I will go with the gradient, like this. Now I will drop few gradients over here, so 1 and 2. Let me align them perfectly. Yep, alright. Now this first color is going to be the first one. Let me find that in the resources. Alright, this first one. And now the second color is going to be the second one, and this third one goes with the third one, and the last with the last. Perfect. Now let me cross, zoom in. Perfect. So now we have created the circle. We will go in the effects and then layer blur. In the blur value, I'm going to write 500. In this way, a blur of circle will be created, and here I will place it. Now the X value for this one, basically the position is going to be 870 in the X, and now in the Y it is going to be 160. This is how it will be placed very right. But now it is above this picture, due to which this picture is looking quite blurry. So we will right click and send it back. Now the picture is clear with the effect that we created. Now if you are wondering that how do I know about these values, these X and Y? Well, this is a result of hit and trial. You have the experience in the UI UX designing, and if you know the principles right, you can place them by using the hit and trial method. Alright, this is done. So now we need to design the hero text over here. For that, we need to enable the layout guide once again. So select it, go over here in the layout guide, enable that. Now take a text, drop it over here and write anything can be made. Select it. Now in the font size, this is going to be 44 with regular font weight. Now I'm going to make a copy of it. Here I'm going to write with anything with the dot. Perfect. And I guess we should not include the dot. Alright. Now select it. Here in the font size, I'm going to write 96, pretty large. Now this is going to be regular, but this anything is going to have a different font family. So go to outfit and change this to Sail. Alright, SAIL. You can use this, Sail. Perfect. Now this is going to be 96 and with regular font weight. Perfect. Now I'm going to select these two and the spacing is 0, which is right. I think we can reduce even more. -2 is perfect. Now put them in the auto layout. In the cap, we need to write -2. And here we are going to align it with this red bar. Perfect. Alright. Now we need a description over here. For that, we will go to a website which is loremipsum.io, and from here we will pick this dummy text till here. Only 2 lines. Go back, take a text, drop it over here, drop the text. Now select it, change the font size to 18 with regular font weight, but with the fill of opacity 70%. Place that over here. Put it a bit down. Now reduce the width like this. I guess this is not very much aligned. So what we can do is we can copy a few words from here and paste them randomly. Perfect. So now this is right. In this way, the description is also ready. Now we need to design the buttons over here. Basically the CTA buttons. And for that, I am going to be lazy. I'm going to copy this button and paste it over there. Take it out from that. And here I will place it like this. Alright, let me zoom in. Now I will select this here in the font size 20 with medium font weight like that. And here I'm going to write visit store. Perfect. And now we need a text over here for the secondary button. So take a text, drop it over here and write explore with a dot. Select it, change this opacity to 60% and 20 medium is fine. Alright. Now select this button, go in the alignment and align it at the middle like this. So now the gap is 51. We can take around 48 or maybe 40. Yeah, 40 is better. Let's see. Yeah, alright. Now I'm going to select these two and put them a bit up like that. Perfect. So now this is looking quite interesting, but we can make it even better. So let me show you how can we do that. So here what I'm going to do, I'm going to provide it a crown text. Let me show you what is that crown text. So let me zoom in, take a text, drop it over here, and I'm going to write flat 40% off for all new users. Select it, and here in the medium I'm going to make it 16. Well, the font size is going to be 16 and this is going to be regular. Perfect. And the color opacity is going to be, let's take 80 this time. Perfect. Alright, this is done. Now I'm going to right click, then go to auto layout. Perfect. In the padding I'm going to write, let's say 10 in the horizontal, and in the vertical let's keep it 8. This is fine. And since we cannot see the padding, we need to select it, go over here in the stroke and provide the stroke of white color with the opacity of 30% with the weight of 1. The corner radius is going to be full, like that. So it is looking quite decent, but we can make it look even better. Let me show you how. So take another text, drop it over here and write new with the caps lock. Alright, now select it. In the font size, make it really small, around 12. Perfect. Now right click, add auto layout. In the horizontal, write 7 and in the vertical, write 6, like this. Fill it with the color which is going to be white and with the opacity of 60%. In the corner radius, provide a full rounded corner. Alright, now I'm going to select this, just cut that, select this one and paste it inside that. Now align it towards the left, like this, and this is how it is looking. We can select it, the gap is 8, I guess we can take 10 or maybe 12. Yeah, 12 is fine. Now we can select it, align it over here. Let's see. Yeah, now you can see this is looking quite interesting. Alright, perfectly right. But one thing that I noticed is this is quite bulky. If you see, let me remove the layout guide so that you can build your observation. Alright, now you can see this is looking quite bulky. It means we need to make it look lighter. So let me zoom in over here, and if we go inside this one, this is 7 and 6, which is fine. But if we select this new and if we go over here in the more option and remove this vertical trim, it will be like that. And now you will see the difference. Yep, now it is looking far better, and I guess we should remove a few words from there. So flat 40% off. What we can do is we can remove this all for new users. This is also perfect. Alright, let's see. Yeah, now it is looking much better. We can put it a bit down like this. Let's see the gap from the top. So you can hold the Alt key and now it will tell you the gap, which is 280. We need around 290. So I'm going to select all of them, put them down. 288, 12, 290. Perfect. Alright, this is done. So our hero text is done. Now I will ask you one thing. Tell me, can you spot the problem? Well, there is one problem. You can see we have an empty space over here, which will look kind of ugly if we leave it like that. So let's see how can we utilize that. Alright, perfect. Let me zoom in over here. But before that, select it, enable the layout guide. Now zoom in again. Perfect. Now take a text, drop it over here, and I'm going to write 240. Select it, and here in the size I'm going to make it, let's say 42. Perfect. Alright, now I'm going to make a copy, so Ctrl D. Let me zoom in, and here I'm going to write let's take courses. Select it, change the font size to 20, like that. Now select both of them, put them in auto layout, and the gap between them is going to be, let's say, -4 or -6. Yeah, -6 is fine. Now align it at the middle. Then select this text, align this at the center, select this one, alignment at the center. Perfect. So this is 20 regular, which is fine, but we can select this one and then go to color, then provide a gradient. And this is fine. I don't want to change anything. This is looking quite good. Alright, now I'm going to select it, place it over here, align with the red bar. Perfect. Now I'm going to take a line, draw it something like this. The width for this one, or basically the height, is going to be 160. Then in the stroke, the weight is going to be 3 with the white color like that, and the opacity is going to be, let's take 100%, but we can create an effect over here. So select it. In the stroke, go to gradient, provide a gradient between these two colors, provide this white color here as well. So all three are going to contain the white color, but now from here I'm going to make it 0 and this one 0 as well. In this way, a stroke like effect will be created. As you can see, this is looking quite amazing. Perfect. Now I'm going to select this, make a copy of it, drop it over here. Now inside this one, I'm going to write 200K. Let me increase the size. Perfect. And here I'm going to write practitioners. Perfect. Make the size large like that. Select it. Go in the width. This is fixed. We need to make it hug content. Alright. Now select this line, Ctrl D to provide one more stroke. Select this one, Ctrl D over here. And now this data needs to be changed, which is going to be 22 plus, and here I'm going to write instructors. Perfect. Alright, this is done. Now we just need to align it perfectly. So select all, then provide auto layout like this, and here the gap is going to be 50. Let's see, 50 is lot. Let me select it, provide it 40 instead. Let's see. Yeah, 40 is perfect. Select it, put it a bit up like that. Alright, let me select this hero section, remove the layout guide and take a good look. Yeah, perfect. So in this way, we are done with the nav bar and along with the hero section. This was the toughest part of this video. Now we are going to create other sections of this website. So for that, what I'm going to do over here is, I'm just going to copy this one. So Ctrl D, place it over here. Now what I'm going to do over here is, I'm going to remove this nav bar since I already have that, and all the other element. I don't need them. Perfect. Let me select this, and since this was locked, it has not been deleted. So I'm going to unlock it and then delete that. Perfect. And now this will be named as, let's name it section 2. Alright, this is created. Now after that, what I want to do over here is, I want to change its color first. So let's see, how can we do that? Well, you know the color is controlled from the fill. So here I'm going to write 0D. So this is a variant of black color, but not absolutely black. Alright. Now in the height, I'm going to change this to 800. Alright. Now after that, what I'm going to do over here is, I'm just going to enable this layout guide. Since I have copy pasted this exact frame, I have the layout guide over here. If you do not find it, you can always go over here, switch to columns, count 16 and margin 120. Alright, let me cross that. Perfect. So our frame is ready. Now we need to design elements inside this one. So first of all, take a rectangle, drop it over here. Or what you can do is, let me delete it, take a frame instead. Frame is going to be fine. Now in the width, I'm going to write 390. Perfect. Let me provide a fill color so that you can see that. And in the height, I'm going to take the complete height, which is 800. Cross it. Now I'm going to align it at the middle first, then towards the left, like this. Now we need to change the color. So the color for this one is going to be 1C, which is also a variant of black, but a lighter shade. Let me show you the difference. Select it, remove the layout guide, and now you can see this difference. This is what I wanted to create. Alright, now select this, enable the layout guide once again, or let it be like this, because right now I'm designing the background. Alright, now we will go to resources, and here we will take this picture, copy that, then go to this section 2, and here inside this frame I'm going to paste it like that. Then I will align it at the middle, then towards the right, like this, until the half of it is not visible. Perfect. Alright, so why I did that? It is because now if I select my frame and I will disable the clip content from here, now you can see this flower is looking perfectly right. Even after it is inside this frame, I can even move it around and it will be attached with this frame. So this is the correct way of designing it. You can see that the flower image is inside this frame. Perfect. So this is one knowledge that you can apply. Now we need to design something over here. So let me select it, enable the layout guide. Alright. Now for the content, I will go over here, take a text, drop it and write it's real. Alright, this is quite small, but let me make a copy first. Now for this first one, the font size is going to be 108 and the font family is going to be Sail, like that. Select it, put it over here, and for this one I'm going to write believe or not with a dot. Now this is going to be outfit, but with the font size of 92, and this is going to be medium. Perfect. Now I'm going to select both these two, then put them in the auto layout. Now the gap between them, let's take -6 or maybe -12. So now you can see I'm doing the hit and trial until it is going to look perfectly right. So -12, let's take -16. Yeah, -16 is fine. Alright, now select it. See this, it is not aligned. So I'm going to align it. Perfect. Alright, this is done. Now we need a long description over here. So let's see from where we can find it. We will go in this website, and this time we are just going to copy that. So if we hit this copy button, all this paragraph, all the text will be copied. Let's go back, take a text, drop it over here and drop the text. Select it. The font size is going to be 20 with regular font weight and 60 opacity, like this. Place it over here with the alignment, and now we need to reduce the width like this. Perfect. Align it till over here. Alright, now I'm going to select this, go in this more options of the typography, and then we will go in the alignment to find this justify, and we are going to use this one. Perfect. In this way it will be end-to-end aligned like this, looking very symmetric. After that, what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to design a buttons, basically 2 buttons over here. So let's see how can we do that. Well, it's easy if we just copy this button, copy that, and paste it over here. Perfect. Slightly at the top. Let's see the gap, 33. Let's take 32. Perfect. Alright, so the button is copied, but we are going to change this styling. And for that, I'm going to select it, remove this fill, like that. Now we cannot see this text, so I'm going to go over here in the selection color and make it FF, which is white. Alright, and here I'm going to change this to View Gallery. Perfect. Alright, so that is how it is looking, and this is looking quite fine. Let me see the alignment. Alright, align left. Perfect, it is aligned. Now we need one more small button over here. For that, I'm going to take a frame, drop it over here, and I'm going to lock it, provide a white fill color, and the height is going to be 50. Alright, like that. Now the corner radius, let's take full. Now it's a circle. Place it over here. Select both of these. Align them at the middle. See this gap, 31. Let's take 40. So 39 and 40. Perfect. Now we need an icon inside this one. Alright, so for that we will right click, go to plugins, and then we will go to Iconify. Well, if you do not find this Iconify in your Figma, so you can go to Manage Plugins, then here search for Iconify. Alright, let it come. Now view details, then run it. Let it load. Now if we search for the right arrow, we will go over here and we will select this broken arrow. Select it, drop it over here. Now cross that. Now in this height and the width, I'm going to change this to 30, like this, and make this, well, we don't need to change the color, just cut that from there, and here we need to paste it like this, and the button is created. You can see that, but this is quite thin. It is because we changed the size from here. We need to make it back to 24. Then what we are going to do over here is we are going to hit K key on our keyboard. In this way the scale tool will appear, and now if I write 30, it will maintain the thickness of the arrow and also make it large. Now cross it, align it at the middle, then at the center like that, and let's see. Yep, perfectly right. Let me select it, put it closer to this button. Perfect. Alright, now I can select all of them and align it perfectly on this section. Yep, I guess this is right, towards here. Yep. Now select this section, remove the layout guide, and this is how the second section is also created. Pretty easy, isn't it? Alright, now after that we will move to the third section. So just copy this one. So select that, Ctrl D. Now here I'm going to align it over there. Perfect. This is section 3, and since I have duplicated it, it has already named as section 3. But I don't want all these content, so I'm going to remove all of them like this. Perfect. Now after that, I need to change the color of the background, which is going to be black, absolutely black, the 0 zeros. Perfect. Now what we need to do over here is we need to write some text over here and then design it. So take a text, drop it over here and write art is not real. Well, everything is art and art cannot be imaginative. But now the font size for this one is going to be 100 and the font family is going to be Sale. Alright, align it at the middle and then towards the top like this. Make a copy over here, and here I'm going to write and you need something unreal, which is right. You always need art in your life to make it colorful. I will change the font size to 44 and here we will make it outfit. Align it at the center like that. Perfect. Select both of them. Put them in the auto layout. Now the gap is going to be -8 like that. Perfect. So the heading is created. Now we need to write a description over here. And you guessed it right, we need to go to loremipsum.io. Now here I'm going to copy this much of the description. Once again, go back, take a text, drop it over here, paste it, select it. Here change the size to 20 with regular font weight. We have done it quite a lot of time. That is why I'm going a bit fast. Now I'm going to make it smaller. Make it center aligned. Alright, align it at the center, then at the top, like this. Perfect. Now select both, put them up, slightly down. Let's see the gap, 54, or why not take 60? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 60. Perfect. Alright, so the heading and the description is created. Now we need to put the main content over here. For that, I'm going to take a box, put it over here. Now for the width, I'm going to write 824 and for the height, I'm going to write 350 like this. Fill it with a color so that we can see it. The corner radius is going to be 72 like this. Cross it. Align it at the middle, then at the top, slightly at the bottom, so we have plenty of space between the text and this box. Alright, this is perfect. Now I'm going to select this box since I need to provide it a different color, and here I'm going to write 0D. Perfect, the black color, but with the opacity of 60%. So it will be very slightly visible but not completely visible. So to improve the visibility, I'm going to select it and provide a stroke. Now for the weight, I'm going to write 2, which is going to be of white color with the opacity of 30%, like this. And now we can see we need to reduce this gap. Perfect. So the box is created. Now we need the content inside it. So for that, once again, we are going to copy the content. Go to Lorem Ipsum and here we are going to copy this much of the text, leaving the last line. Go back, select this, take a text, drop it over here, put the content, select it, and here this is going to be font size 20, regular font weight, and the fill is going to be 60. Alright, let me reduce the width from here, and I guess if we go to this width and write just 400, it will be reduced. Perfect. Now align it towards the left, place it over here at the bottom. Now make it large. I guess this is fine. Now we need the name of the person who have said this review. And yes, you guessed it right. This is a review section. Alright, let me zoom in. Take a text, drop it over here, and I'm going to write my favorite person. Well, not favorite person, but I always use this name for my design. So Carolina Abbott. Perfect. Select it. Now the font size is going to be 28 with font family needs to be changed, which is going to be Sale once again. Now align it over here like this. See the gap, 15. Let's take 16. Alright. Select both, align them at the middle. Perfect. So this is how the text content is also created. Now you can see this gap is quite large than this one. So we can select these two and let me put them in auto layout so that they move together, and now put them over here. Yep, 63 and 80, which is quite right, not very much perfect, but it is good. As far as it is looking quite great. Let me select the text, align it at the middle. Perfect. So now it is better. The part for this section is created, but now we need to put some decoration inside it. And first of all, we need a picture. So we will go over here in the resources, copy this image. Alright, go to section 3, select this box. Now we need to align it. So for that, I'm going to select it, place it over here like this. Yup, perfect. And now you must be saying that it is not visible. Well, this part is not visible. Well, you have noticed, well, we have already seen this trick over here, and we are going to use that over here as well. So select this box and disable this clip content. And now it is perfectly visible. As you can see, we can select it, put it a bit up, and this text a bit up as well, towards the left as well. Alright, this is just the alignment. Perfect. So now it is placed quite well. Now as you can see, this is looking quite decent, but we can enhance the view. So let me show you how can we do that. Well, we just have to go to this hero section to borrow this circle that we created, the gradient one. So copy that from there, and here in the section 3, I'm going to paste that to provide this lighting effect. Alright, now I'm going to reduce the size, and for that I'm going to take maybe 400 is also good. This should be enough. Now in the X I'm going to write 860, but in the Y I'm going to write 290 like this. So it will be placed over here with the circle with this star. Now right click and send it to back. Alright, perfect. And now let me tell you one thing over here. So we provided a color to this box which was 0D with the opacity of 60%. Now why we provided opacity? Why we needed that? It is because when I'm going to put this glowing circle behind this box, it is going to affect this box as well. If it has the opacity. As you can see, this is quite subtle. You cannot notice that. But if you see this part, this is quite blackish, but this is quite colorful. As you can see, once you are going to create this in your Figma, you are going to spot the difference very clearly. So these are the visual effects that you can create using the principles of the UI UX. So now with this, you can see this section, which is section 3, is also ready. Alright, now we need section 4. So Ctrl D to make a copy, paste that over here, zoom in, and now here I'm going to remove this box, circle, and the star. Alright, because I need this one. But first I'm going to select this, change the color to 0D. Perfect. And now here I'm going to make this size 600 like this, pretty small. Now I'm going to enable the layout guide once again. Now select this text and I'm going to change this to art is soul. Perfect. And now for the second one, I'm going to select it and write here of the earth and life with a dot. Select it, align at the middle, the text alignment. Perfect. Now select this first one and the font size is going to be 164, pretty huge. Increase the size. Now we need to select this description and put it down. Perfect. Now select this text and in the font size write 100 as well. Alright, let me make it large like this. And I guess we can increase the size for this one, or maybe not. This is good. So select this box, which is this auto layout that we provided. And here, what I'm going to do is in the width, I'm going to make it her content. Alright, align it at the middle and reduce this gap even further, maybe 24. Yep, right. Now select this description, and here this is going to be 20, which is fine, and 60 regular, everything is correct. We just need to select it and increase the width like this. And let me remove some of the text, the second line. All right, perfect. Now align it at the top with the text. Perfect. See the gap, 11. Let's take 16. All right, this is done. Now zoom in over here, since we need a button over here. So for that, just borrow it from here, the hero section, and place it inside that. All right, well, just the text is copied. Delete it, go back, select this button, and now paste. Perfect. All right, align it at the middle, then at the bottom, push it at the top like that. See the gap from this text, 35. Let's take 32. 32. Perfect. Now I'm going to select all of them, put them over here at the bottom, right in the center. Perfect. This is right. Now after that, what we need is we can make it interesting, and again by using that gradient circle which we used over here. So I'm just going to copy that circle, select this 3 hero section, select this section 3, copy this ellipse, and here I'm going to paste that right in the middle like this. But this is too much of the light, so I will go in the fill and make this 70%. 70% is still very huge, so let's take 60. 60 is fine. Let me select this section and go over here, remove this layout guide, and this is how it is looking, which is quite fine. All right, now I think, yep, this is great. Now we need to design the footer at last. So just copy this one, Ctrl D, place it over here. Perfect. Now remove all these. We don't want them. Now first of all, I'm going to select it, change this height, which is going to be 200, like that. The color is going to be white, perfectly white. Let me zoom in and rename it footer. Perfect. Now I need a black strip over here so that I can write the copy text, basically the copyright text. So take a frame again, drop it over here, and here in the height I'm going to make it 40, like that. The width is going to be 1440 with the fill of black color, 00. All right, align it at the middle, then at the bottom, like that. And I'm going to make one more copy of this strip like this so that I can align it over top of it. Perfect. And now for this one, the color is going to be white. Perfect. You will see why I did that. Now here, what I'm going to do is I will zoom in, take a text, drop it over here, and I'm going to write where art is not ordinary art with the dot. Select it, change the font size to 18, align it at the middle, then at the center. Perfect. So this is created. Now after that, I'm going to put the name of the website over here. But first, select this footer and enable the layout guide. Zoom in over here, take the text and write metal with a dot, select it, change the font size to 52 and make it, let me first change the font family to Sail. Alright, and regular is fine. Align it at the middle. Now you will know why I created this white box when I already had the main box, which was the footer, as white. So I did it because I wanted to place them at the center by using these alignment tool, and this was the perfect method if I do it this way. Alright, let me place them perfectly right. Okay, now we need some social links over here. So we're going to take some icons and paste them over here of Facebook, Instagram and the LinkedIn. So let's just do that. So I have copied the icons and here I'm going to paste them like that. Perfect. Align it at the middle. Let me cut them because as you can see, this frame is out of this frame which contains this metal, due to which the alignment is not perfect. So I'm just going to cut that, go to this metal frame and paste that. Now align it at the middle and perfectly aligned. Perfect. Now let me tell you more about these social icons. Well, there is nothing special about these ones. So I have this auto layout inside which I contain this frame, which is LinkedIn, then Instagram and then Facebook. Now this LinkedIn one has the width of 46. Well, you can avoid these values after the dot. I just resized it. That is why I have these horrible values. Alright. And then after that, inside this LinkedIn box, I have the LinkedIn icon. This is as simple as it looks. Now what I'm going to do over here is I'm just going to copy that so that you can also make it very easily. I'm going to paste it over here as well, right beside these colors, so that you can find them very easily. Let me put them in a box so they are pretty much visible. Well, right, the fill is going to be white. Perfect. Yup, right. So now you can find them very easily. Let me rename it social icons. Perfect. Now you will find them. Alright, and now in this way all the sections, footer and navbar are created. Now first let me select this footer, remove the layout guide. Now what we need to do over here is we need to combine all these and create a website, and that is very easy. You can select all of them like this, but before that let me select this navbar which is present over here and put it outside the hero section. You will know why in a minute. So select all of them. Now the spacing is going to be 0 like this. Now I'm going to right click and then frame selection. Alright. Now the fill I'm going to provide is going to be of 00. Perfect. So now all the section contains inside this main frame, which will be named as website. Alright. Now I'm going to align my navbar. Select the navbar, cut it from there. Select this website, which is this parent frame that contains all the other sections. Let me show you over here just to give you an idea. Alright, you can see all these sections. So hero, section 2, section 3 and everything else. Let me zoom in and here I'm going to paste the navbar. Alright, now what I want you to focus over here is this navbar should be on the same line with the footer, the section and the hero section and etc. It should not be contained inside any of these sections. It can only be inside this website. Why? Let me tell you. Because if you put this navbar inside any of this section, it will scroll away. It will not stay at the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to align it at the top like this. Perfect. Now, if I select it and preview this website, you will find something. So let it load. Perfect. So this is our website and you're going to notice two problems. And right now you're going to notice the first one. If I scroll this website, the nav bar is scrolling away. It should stay over here and it is not happening. It is because of a reason. Let me go over here and enable this. Alright, now you can see it perfectly. Now if I select this nav bar, go in the prototype, the scroll behavior is set to scroll with parent. I don't want this. I want it to be fixed at the top. Alright. Now if I select the website and play it once again, you will see that the nav bar is going to be fixed at the top. Let me scroll. Alright. Now you can see that the nav bar is fixed at the top, which is right. But now there is one more problem. The second problem. And that problem is, if I'm scrolling, you will see the readability is sacrificed. Now you cannot see the shop and inspiration very well. Well, we have an easy way to solve it. Let me show you what is that. So we will go over here. I will select this nav bar, then switch to design. And here I will go to effects. Now I will go to background blur, and here in the blur value I'm going to write 24, a huge value. Now cross this. Now if I select this, play it once again, you will see the problem is going to be solved. Alright, let me scroll. Now you can see everything behind this nav bar is hiding away and it is blurred. In this way, these content are very much visible. Let me show you. So you can see that it is hiding quite well and everything is blurry behind this nav bar. And this is a modern nav bar, which you will see in all the websites that are created nowadays. And in this way, we are also done with the creation of this complete landing page. The first, we have the hero section, which is quite well made. Then we have this section 2, which is kind of about section about this website. Then we have the review section over here. And after that, we have the CTA call to action section. Then at last, we have the footer. And now, if you also have made it along with me, consider sending it to our Telegram group. If you do that, people will help you learn more by pointing out and suggesting the changes in your designs. And in some case, if you cannot join the Telegram, you can also join our Discord community. The designers are also very helpful there. Well, at last, what I want to say to you is, this website was quite heavy on the design part. As you can see, we did not do any animation on this one and did not even make it responsive. But the sole purpose of this video to tell you how can you design attractive looking websites using Figma. And we have done it quite well. Well, if you want to learn more about the concepts of the website, you can join my course. Well, if you're going to join it, this is going to be your best investment so far. So I hope to see you there. Well, now it's time to say goodbye. We will meet in the next one.